G'day punters, welcome to the mailbag previewing a big juicy meeting at headquarters, joined by In the Know with the Snow. Mark, how are you?
Very well, Jack. You? Good to be here.
Good, mate. You've decided to sort of take the camera a fair bit away from the old melon this time.
Jeez, I caught some flack week one. The head looked very big, like a big balloon, so I caught plenty of flack, so I thought I would adjust that this week.
And I just want to make something very clear to the punter at home. This show is not brought to you by John Sepka. This is brought to you by Betfair, puntingform.com.au, the database that we all use, and Goat Lager. Very, very beautiful beer. Boys, big meeting at Flemington. Rails out 10 metres, which will play a big role. I think there'll be a clear pattern. I don't really know what the pattern will be. I want to focus on horses sort of off the fence, I think, in run as maybe a starting point. But I think we need to watch a fair few races before we get really confident as to how the track plays with the rail out 10. We know Flemington's a really, really good draining surface, and there's some good races sort of through the day where I'm going to try and bet right up on Saturday. Just while I'm talking about that, we've got 2 spots in for the Movers product, my product, available to take us to the 20. Whoever fills those spots first, so there's 2 spots this week, I will send you my rated prices for every single race at Flemington. All the Movers punters this weekend will get my rated prices for races 1 through to 9 at Flemington. And we've also got the PGA champs with a fellow Corrower, man.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy's golf bets. He's already sent out a few. I'm in cahoots with him. I am loving it. The angles there are in golf, the odds in golf, it's just you can bet 55,000 ways. It's beautiful. I'm very, very excited for the golf this weekend. Kicks off tomorrow morning, Snowy?
Yeah, very thorough too, Big Daddy. You get a very good insight.
100%. He nailed the tournament last week, and as Snowy and I know, he's a proper judge. Used to play, believe it or not. If you see him sort of hobbling around racecourses at the moment, it'd be hard.
You wouldn't pick it, would you?
You wouldn't pick it. I played in Marcus's his brother, who still plays pro golf, his charity event. Big Day did not walk a hole.
It's funny though, even to this day, when they do play, a lot of the times Big Daddy beats Marcus off the stick, and geez, it runs him up the wrong way too.
Yeah, and then the Frey Senior rolls around with a dart half out the mouth with was it Magro?
Yeah, Magro, yeah.
Yeah, good man. They just roll around in the carts and just hang shit on Frey.
It's a good laugh with them two boys.
Yeah, it was a great day. Anyway, back to the ponies. Peter, anything else we should cover before we start?
No.
Are you excited for the Gropers product this week? Which again is not a reference to anything sexual. It's a reference to Western Australia being the Gropers. Pete's betting in Western Australia and also doing a fair bit of wagering in New South Wales. Big meeting in Sydney this week.
Yes, back on board. Rosie will be a heavy 15, and then we'll probably play like a heavy 13. And if Canterbury's anything go by from yesterday, how could you bet early? But we'll find some angles. There's some nice races, some nice ponies, and I think we'll marry up really well with Roberto Scurry out there in New South Wales.
Who has got eyes on the ponies, very envious of him. But if you want to get involved, head to themailbag.com.au. We've got punting products galore now. And also don't forget Curls up there in North Queensland. He's betting at Gatton today. That's how sick he is. Race 6, punters, the Aurie Star Handicap, 1,200 metres, Group 3. Plenty of fresh horses here. Some awkward setups. Peter, I'll let you open the batting.
Well, how's this for awkward? You've got Hightail and Senior Fox who are nominated in this race, and they're also nominated in Sydney. How does that work? So if they cross the border, can they then go back across the border? Bizarre.
I don't know what the go is. If they're both Snowden trained, so if they bring them down, you'd assume they're stuck here.
Yep.
That's a very big call by the owners and the connections.
Yeah.
We've got to assume they're in because they're nommed and they've accepted. But yeah, a little bit like most of the stuff to do with COVID, I don't really have a clue. I'm just sort of... I normally would ask Ems, but I don't think Ems would know much about the pony sort of setup here.
No comment. Look, I thought Hightail actually profiled like it would be suitable more so at Flemington than Rose Hill, but I'm not totally convinced it's going to end up there. So I had some interest on that horse. I thought the trial was pretty good. outside of that, great again. Obviously, the more it rains, the better suited it will be. Both its runs down the Flemington Straight have been good so far. So those are the two I was zeroing in on. But, geez, I mean, Sosi Bond won this race last year, and here he is again, just the best-looking horse that's... Well, he's not really a cat anymore. He's probably like a slightly bigger cat in terms of like a better developed animal. So he's probably some sort of jaguar, maybe not quite a panther. We'll go one step below that. Don't know.
He's been pretty good to Dicko the last prep though, wasn't he, Jack?
Yeah, no, I'm a big Sosi Bond man. Pete's sort of talking there, punters, that he probably is the best looking horse in Australia. A real sort of eye catcher. I thought his trial was outstanding. He did win this race last year. I think he maps really, really well. Mark Zara rode 3 winners yesterday. One of them was an outstanding piece of riding, which got me directly right in the stuff. He fucking what he did to Zach Spain on Zenday, just sort of got her outside of him, rolled in on him enough, but not too much to make it a protest. It's just. He's an outstanding rider, Mark. He's had a little freshen and he looks very, very thirsty. A little bit like we spoke about in the deep dive, Pete. Him and D Lane would be the sort of fresher riders of these Victorians who, like us all, have suffered through COVID. I think Sosi Bond sets up really well. I've marked him $7. You can get $9.50 at the moment. I think he's the way to go in this race. If you want to go each way, you can. I don't. I'll also be having a small bet on number 4, Widgie Turf. Paddy Payne first up, very scary behaviour from me, but the horse had 3 good, strong trials. I love them all. I think this horse has good ability. It's got a very similar sort of SP profile to Sosi Bond. Regevic's a horse I black book. Didn't expect to see it down the straight over 1,200 metres. Sort of talking to Pistol off air. Not implying anything untoward, but I have the same sort of feeling about Lindsay that I had about DK Weir, in that he's very, very good and very, very hard to read. So if this was trained by like a sort of more stock standard Hawks operation, I'd be happy to pen Regevic because I don't think it's going to be suited 1,200 metres down the straight. But wouldn't be surprised if it just ran a huge race here. I think it's ready to run a big race, and you've got to sort of trust that stable that he knows what he's doing. I think Great Again's about the right price. I'll probably get him near to $5, but you can understand the price, and especially if the rain comes, I think he's very, very hard to knock. And the other thing is Home of the Brave. Gets Oliver, which is an enormous switch from the previous rider. Go and watch its trial up at, I think it was Randwick or Rose Hill. It was enormous. It just towed her through the trial, put him away easily, won the trial well. There was a gap, big gap to third. Wasn't asked to do anything. There's not a lot of form behind it. SP profile's strong, but that trial was huge, and it gets the great man on top. I think Great Again and Home of the Brave, the two that'll be suited on pace, but I think Sosi Bond and Widgie Turf, the two that the market's sort of half missed. Snowy.
Yeah, I'm in the Home of the Brave camp. Soft track, it's placed twice, track distance, and Oliver tick. So that was the way I was leaning Home of the Brave.
Makes good sense. Race 7, Pistol. What are we dealing with? It's the Mountain Goat Classic or something, isn't it?
Yeah, benchmark 78, over 2,000 metres. But there's a couple of interesting horses here. You've got that Cadre de Noir and then also Skyman, who both are second up in Australia, and both are jumping up towards the 2,000 metres. So I think that's probably where the market's going to zero in. I was trying to find a little angle here with Eureka Street. I thought that horse wasn't necessarily suited there last start and does have a good track and distance figure. So I thought horses may very well be better suited off speed here, just given the fact that D Lane and Ben Mellum are potentially going to be controlling this race, which if they get to the front, it could be a reasonably slowish race. So I was looking for some horses building momentum, and Eureka Street's where I landed.
I think Emperor Selassie was utterly blessed last start of an enormous SP. Its unders, it should be closer to sort of $70 here. I think there's no form from this Cadre de Noir race. I'm happy to be against it till it shows me more. I like Eureka Street like you do, Pistol, but Dogmatic has a good SP, decent big SP over it, and it's going to get a better run from barrier 4. Walker, if the track does sort of favour those midfield one-off horses, Walker's not going to go too quick on anything in his life. This is going to get the right sort of run here. De Niro, a yo-yo, hemorrhaged at Sandown, off the map, and ran enormous. Was pretty poor last start, and was pretty poor each and every other start, apart from the decent effort at Moe. Kentucky Tornado, I've got time for. Barrier 10, Waller, they snick near last. I think it needs every possible. Won't get it from barrier 10. Skyman, you can't bag the run. It was enormous. It was a big win. It's sort of 1 from 1 in Australia. They put him away pretty well. It deserves to be the sort of price that it is. I think the one the market's half missed, though, is number 6, Crimson Ace. Again, gets Aurie on. Barrier 6. It's going to get every single possible. Doesn't need to be ridden like completely cold. I'm keen to sort of bet with number 6, Crimson Ace, to a lesser degree, number 2, Dogmatic, and number 4, Eureka Street. So sort of almost double figures, all three, sort of 10s, and 17s. They're the three I'm interested in this race, but very, very scared of the favourite, which is number 5, Skyman. Snowy, anything?
Yeah, I had a bit of a look at the race, and it was just one I wasn't keen on at all. So, yeah, I'll just be staying out of this one, but good luck to those punting.
Rule number 1, never force it. Race number 8, Pistol, benchmark 90, 1,000-metre dash down the straight at headquarters. Wow.
Interesting. We've got the visitor. Well, I say the visitor. It's not, kind of is. From the state next door. What's it called? Whatever it is. Anyway.
South Australia.
Yeah. Borders aren't open unless you're coming this way. Octane, I thought, was short enough. I was trying to go through all of its figures, over 1,000, 1050, 1100 there in South Australia, and it's posted some okay figures, some okay splits, but it looks well and truly short enough. So I was just looking to lay that, and I think there's quite a few horses here at odds that could bob up. They've all been recording decent splits, a few coming from different form lines. I'm just happy to take on Octane here.
Well, this is the key time to go to the Snowman. What's the word from the hut here with Clinton McDonald's Causeway Girl, Snowy, number 5?
Well, she was an improved showing last start. She'd been dreadful a couple of runs before that, and she'd come out and ran third last start. Horse is in great order, and at $23, I thought she was a small each-way play in this. She does like the Flemington straight, 1,000 metres, and race fit now. She's probably got a bit of an edge over a couple of the others, and I thought at the $23 she was a small each-way play.
Yeah, she's a horse that ran a really big figure and a really strong race. I think she almost won. It might have ran third behind some really smart horses a couple of sort of maybe 4 months back down the straight. So that's good mail. I've marked it $20, like kept it under what it is because I think it can win. I agree.
He was very keen on the last start, and instead each way, and she got up about $4 a place. And when I spoke this morning, yeah, he was very happy with her condition. So,
yeah, good push. Number 6, Octane. I'm with you, Pistol. I sort of like did a double take when I saw the price. And I thought, all right, what am I missing? And I went through it again and again. I did it twice. I couldn't get the horse shorter than $4.50, and that's with a lot of respect for the market. If the market had this horse $10, I'd happily have it $12. I don't like the horse. I think it's massive unders. It's not like P Stokes 5 years ago bringing on from Adelaide. Like, he trains me. If it was the Clarkin sort of setup, then I get a little bit more scared. I thought Mr. Mogul seems a big price. It's flying. Chicago Cub exploded last prep and trialled pretty well for this. Snitzcraft's been up forever. Hard to catch, hard to have. I think Causeway Girl is a bet, and I think there's 2 down the bottom. Sort of Mercy is on the up. We're back to first up at Bendigo, this prep. Movers won really, really well. Gets D Lane now. Gets D Lane. Barrier 11, you'd assume the outside of the straight's the better part when the rail's at 10 metres. I think this horse will get every possible, and I reckon the horse that'll have its back is number 12, Rock Profit. A horse, if you remember, we backed as a movers bet at like $35 at Sandown one day. This is how sick I am. I don't need to look it up. I know this for a fact. It hemorrhaged, and he slaughtered it, and it still almost won. Now, I think he gets the right run here. If they go quick enough, which they could with Mr. Mogul, Elite Legacy, and Snitzcraft, and even Chicago Cub, Sort of Mercy, Rock Profit, and even maybe Spirit of a Quaddie off their backs, they'll be the stronger ones late. Messerschmitt trialled pretty strongly. I wanted to pen it, but it's pretty hard to off that trial. But Barrier 2, I'm happy to sort of risk it at that price. So I'm keen number 11 and number 12, Sort of Mercy and Rock Profit, respecting number 3, Mr. Mogul. Race number 9, Pistol.
Yes. Benchmark 70 handicap 14.10. Wowee, what a way to finish the card.
Get this up, you Quaddie punters.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Lord Markle completely exploded their last start, but I think I want to see it do it one more time. Savvy Lad's well and truly short enough for me, considering it's failed twice last prep, and then it was okay. I thought at Caulfield first up, but I thought it was suited the way the day was panning out. Pinion just has really good figures at Flemington, and I mean, you only had to have eyes to see the horse last start. It was just begging for a run. It was strong through the line. Looks like 1400 will be suitable. I think it should start a lot shorter than what it is. And the horse that now has a run that I'll be saving on is Antagonizer for J. Carr and M. Kavanagh. The horse went really well second up last prep, this track and distance. So that's my 2-horse play there for race 9. I think there's a long, long tail to this. There's a lot of horses that just have names. MacGyver's me mate, Jittery Jack. I mean, who's naming these? Are they named after people?
MacGyver's me mate, yeah. Anyway, I found this race really, really hard. I think you need to wait. It's race 9, so I anticipate we'll have a good bet here, though, from the late mail stuff we're providing now instead of the Mounting Yard mail, because we've given up racing.com, who are yet to get back to me after I offered to sponsor the Mounting Yard. They told me they'd get back to me on Monday. My phone, I normally have it on Do Not Disturb. I've had it off for most of the week, which has been a bit torturous, but I'm waiting for the call. Still nothing. I know you watch, so please answer, because I won't shut up about it. Savvy Lad, I disagree with you, Pistol. The form around Savvy Lad's elite. The ride was awful at Caulfield. He shouldn't have, and he still crossed him before he was allowed to, mystery shot. That's why Rod's not riding.
Yeah, heavy rail's bias, though. It was on the rail.
But the horse has the horses that are beating it are proper microphone, etc. However, if the rails out 10, if the rail sort of chops here and it's no good, then I'm happy to be with you and get rid of it. I think that Lord Markle's form's good enough. I think the win was genuine. I think the horse has really good ability. I think Shush has ability. Antagonizer has a little bit less, but has a better map. I think That Girl and Pinion are the two sort of big charges from the back. I hope that's how the track plays, and I'm going to go heavily at those two with a fear of Lord Markle and even a horse like Zero Doubt. And if I was on track, or if Racing.com showed the ponies parading, I'd be so keen to see how number 8 Vegas Knight presents. I love this horse. It often is slaughtered and likely will be again from barrier 19.
Well, just on Zero Doubt there, Dicko, when I spoke to Mick this morning, the blinkers were coming off, was going to go forward, and he said it would improve a lot off its first up run.
Well, that's a good push. It has an SP over a few key rivals here, so Zero Doubt's definitely in the game. Definitely in the game. But after the sort of midfield of this race, the tail does get very, very thin. I've marked a couple set north of 500 to 1. There you go. Snowy, what else have we got from around the track for the punters at home? Get your pencils out, punters. We'll be heading north, south, west of the border here.
Well, there was one in Rose Hill, race 4, number 1, Wanderbar. That was from the Chris Lee's camp. It flies fresh. It's trialled very well. I think it's had 3 wins from 4 attempts fresh, and the one it missed was in a photo finish. And it was $6.50 at Sydney, so that was definitely worth a bet. Race 4, number 1.
Race 4, number 1?
Wanderbar from the Lee's camp, yeah.
Put that in.
And another one from them also is Doomben, race 3, number 4, Snow Zone.
Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Is this legitimate, or is this just a little...
This is legit. It won very well last start, and they thought it would be very hard to beat again. So there's 2 out wide for the punters. Rose Hill 4 to 1, and Doomben 3 to 4, Snow Zone.
Beautiful work. Pistol, best value and a lay. Have you got anything?
Lay Octane. Best. I'm still working on that. I've got one at Belmont, but it'll have to go up in the comments because there's no markets up yet, and I don't want to influence anyone and just watch my prices hemorrhage once again. So I'll put them up probably, I don't know, midnight Saturday morning or something like that. We'll do that. And then value. There was one that I found somewhere. I don't know. I've been doing quaddie legs all over the place. You have to excuse me. I'm going like completely insane. Race 8, at no, not race 8, race 7 at Rose Hill. I thought Savatiano was probably one that profiled the best in that field, around that $7-8 mark. Rachel King on board, thought the trial was good, gets into a lovely spot. So Savatiano for me in race 7.
My best can be race 6, number 1, So See Bond, double figures, or 950, sorry. Value bet punters can be race 8, number 12, Rock Profit, and number 11, Sword of Mercy. And I will lay Octane as well, race 8, number 6.
I'll go. My best is Happy Dance for the Mick Price yard. He said forget last start, excuses, a soft track will suit, and I'll go my value bet as Causeway Girl in race 8 at $23.
Beautiful work, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. That's been us, brought to you by betfair.com.au. Head to Betfair, get on the Betfair Live app if you want to watch what the market's doing late, which you must. Yesterday, Cranbourne, race 7. Mark Zara's horse, Imperial Lad, absolutely hemorrhaged and then ran enormously. You get great intelligence from the market. You get it late. You've got to go to Betfair Live to get it, and puntingform.com.au, and also Goat Lager. Bye. Have a great weekend.